Tonight I'm here once again, as I said in my intro, to continue the legal hour program, which is proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. As I said, it's been amazing, and MC Chaka, Edwina, thank you so much, you guys who took over during this short period that I was away for a while, and received a lot of comments, and I hope that you guys will make yourself available for many more topics to be able to teach those who want to stay out of trouble, especially when it comes to the criminal justice system. But tonight I am here for immigration, and I've said that each time there are all these rumors, terrifying people. We come in here not to speak of fiction, but facts. So tonight I am here to discuss the health care workers visa, or health and care workers visa, especially the frontline care workers, which was added to the shortage occupation list on the 15th of February 2022. Tomorrow will be 1 year. That's when this particular code or job specification was added to the shortage occupation list. I'm going to take my time to explain what the shortage occupation list means and why there have been so much rumors going around, terrifying people who even, especially sponsors and all the people around, that something is going to happen on the 15th. I'm going to take my time, obviously, to allay your fears, because here we teach the law. So tonight's topic is about skilled worker, specifically health and care workers visa. That's the one I'm going to discuss tonight. And as I do always at the end of my program or my show or my submission, I'm going to give viewers opportunity to ask questions in any legal area. And of course, if it falls within my jurisdiction and competence, I'm going to be here to answer all your questions. This program is being broadcast on Facebook page CITI Media TV, so you can watch it there. On the Facebook, another page, which is my own personal profile, Thomas Bebo, you can also watch it there. But I urge you to come to the CITI Media TV Facebook page, because that is the epicenter where all the action takes place. So if you are watching me from a personal profile, I urge you to migrate and gradually gravitate towards joining me on my CITI Media TV channel. But also, you can also watch this program on CITI Law Solicitors Facebook page and CITI Law Solicitors YouTube channel. You can also watch it on YouTube. And CITI Media Radio, you can also listen to it. So you have no excuse to mix this important show, proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. Now, I wish each and every one, loved ones out there, happy Valentine's Day. Today is a very special day, and I'm sure that most of you are wondering why I'm in this studio when a lot of people are making time for loved ones in restaurants and all the interesting places. Some are cooking at home. But of course, even if you are cooking at home, you can say, watch me from the comfort of your house. And I'm here in this studio to celebrate that Valentine's Day with you. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, be here with me. Even though you are in a Valentine mood, you can say watch this show. And make sure you share the link, because I know many more out there want to have the benefit of receiving free legal advice from this topic. So please don't deprive them of the opportunity by not sharing it. Right, but having said that, I'm going to, as I do always, probably I give myself 2 minutes break, because I'm asking you to share, for me to also to share, because a lot of people say that sometimes they struggle to get a notification. So sometimes it's important that I share it on the group page so that people can have immediate access to it and do the needful by watching and sharing it with friends and family members. So I'm simply going to do that, and I'm not going to take much of your time because I know today it is a Valentine's Day. But obviously, I'm coming back to continue this show. So please don't go away. What I'm going to do is just make sure that I can simply share this link to people who want to watch it and not be deprived of the opportunity. And obviously, once I've done that, I'm going to come back to you. This is the CITI Law Solicitors page. This is where all the action take place. And obviously, I don't want you to go away. Stay with me. Thank you guys for your patience. It's been amazing meeting you again for the past, it's been almost 3 weeks now, so I'm so thrilled to be here. So tonight, as I've already said in the intro, I'm looking at health and care workers visa. And if you can see from the topic, there is a deadline which is looming, obviously, tomorrow. And of course, this is why there have been a lot of rumors going around. And therefore, perhaps it's important to give the background why this rumor is going around. And that's why I'm here to address it tonight, because each time I'm in this studio, I'm encouraged to speak the truth and facts, not fiction. And therefore, this is one of the opportunities for me to address most of this rumor, because I've had a lot of queries, people asking questions, some even disposing of their certificate of sponsorship in fear that it will become extant by the 15th of February 2023. And coincidentally, today is a Valentine's Day, so it's a day of love. Right, so as I have already indicated, normally we had, sometimes I get clients who call me, they want to have sponsorship license for their businesses, and then I always have to find a way to advise them why it is sometimes easier to get a sponsorship license to bring people from abroad to work for your business, and why sometimes it's really difficult in certain sectors of the economy, why it is really difficult to get sponsorship license to recruit in those sectors. For example, those who are working in restaurants, in hotels, in some other areas, even in hairdressing, some people want sponsorship licenses to operate those businesses. People who own shops, they also want to get. And I always take my time to explain the challenges in getting a license and the main distinction between those who can easily get a sponsorship license and those who cannot get it. Those who can get and who can get is what they call the shortage occupation list. Now, what a shortage occupation list simply means is that there are categories of jobs that Office of National Statistics have created codes for them, and based on assessment and statistics, they have confirmed that these categories of jobs have shortages. So what it means is that businesses are struggling to be able to recruit internally or in-country people from here to work in those sectors. So those sectors, Office of National Statistics has categorized them to be a shortage occupation area. Namely, health and care workers visa is one of them. But if you look into the shortage occupation list, which I always describe, teachers are there, mechanical engineers are there, electrical engineers are there, even dancers are there, gym instructors are there. So we have all these shortage areas that whenever you make an application for sponsorship license, Home Office don't have enough grounds to refuse that application, because the Office of National Statistics has confirmed that this area is a shortage area. Give them the power to fill it so that this economy can move. Otherwise, it will come to a standstill. Otherwise, businesses will not be able to operate. And it's going to affect revenue generation for the economy. So give these people the opportunity to bring these qualified people to come and work in the UK, because their services are immediately required in this area. That is what it means by the shortage of occupation list. But realize that when I mention all of them, most of them require you to have a degree, a university qualification, either first degree or second degree, or a professional qualification, such as nurses. But, and this is the but, And this is the most significant point of my topic tonight. On the 15th of February 2022, the Immigration Advisory Committee did assessment in conjunction with the Office of National Statistics, and they realized that staff are required in the social and the care sector. Therefore, they created a new job code, 6145, which they call frontline care workers. These don't need to have a nursing qualification. You don't have to be a nurse. Most times, some of my clients, when they feel that, oh, we only have to recruit those who have been trained as nurses abroad. And then I ask myself, why? Because you don't understand even the requirement for the people you are recruiting. Now, the frontline care workers, which was added on the 15th of February 2022, and very soon I'm going to explain why people are panicking, which was added to the shortage occupation list. And the job code, especially for 6145, which is the frontline care workers. These are people who are going to be in the front line. They don't need qualification, namely a university degree. However, they need to be able to, if they are coming from majority English-speaking country, such as Canada, the Caribbeans, America, New Zealand, Australia, all these major English-speaking countries, which is listed on the Home Office website. By default of holding a passport or being a national of that country, you don't have to fulfill English language requirement, and therefore you fall under what they call exemption. So these frontline care workers, they don't need to have any qualification. All that they need to have is to have what you call B1, which is speaking, listening, reading, and writing, 4 components. But if one has been to an university and that person obviously has a university degree, then it's another advantage because they don't have to write the English exams if, for example, their course was taught mainly in English. That in effect means that they will satisfy the requirement therein. So these frontline workers, when were added to the shortage occupation rules, Home Office realized that because there is a shortage, and because of the fact that this shortage except that immediately, even after COVID, a lot of people started dying. Therefore, they need people to satisfy the personal needs of the elderly, the vulnerable, the infirm, namely by dressing them, washing them up, supporting them, paying for their bills, taking them around. And these are just specifications that ordinarily people would have done it if they were living home with their adult dependents, relatives. But most times, some of these people live alone or they are living in care homes. So these services are required from the frontline care workers. And therefore, normally, it was only those with qualifications such as university degrees that were required to be able to apply for the skilled worker. But because they were included on the shortage occupation list, that requirement of having a university degree was abolished. They were given a priority. And in fact, even the salary requirement, which is so high, for example, if somebody wants to recruit an engineer, you should pay not less than $28,000 as a start pay. For frontline care workers, they reduced it to about 80%, which is about $20,480. Now, so these people have been included in the shortage occupation list. Their salary requirement has been reduced. And in fact, when you go to Scotland, Ireland, and some other countries in the United Kingdom, Scotland, they can pay you they are eligible to pay you as low as £6, which is about 13,500 a year. So people should take note of this. But this policy was going to be in place to be tried for a year and then subsequently to be reviewed. This is where the fear is. And subsequently to be reviewed. And because it was introduced on the 15th of February 2022, which is exactly a year from tomorrow, and Home Office decision was that they were going to introduce this for a year and then monitor it and eventually decide what to do with it. Before I go further, I want to just acknowledge, I've made some of you viewers past weeks that I've not been here. This place has been like a home. It's a platform where we interact with each other. And I'm glad to be here tonight. And I know that most of you have. Somebody was saying that sometimes I keep on looking for the link. I don't find it. And I'm not sure that this program has still been ongoing. And therefore, I have not been able to participate. I said, yes, I've been off for a couple of weeks, but obviously tonight I'm going to be here. I can see a couple of people who are watching. I have Bright Asare, I have Zach Boaten, I have Sir Vasco. I'm not sure what is happening to. So, guys, if you are watching me, I will entreat that you put a link or you put a comment so that I will be able to acknowledge you. I'm very happy that for almost 3 weeks now I've not been here, and I'm now here, and most of you are here, even though it was an unannounced broadcast. But I'm very happy that you guys are here, and I want to acknowledge you. But I can only do that if you put a comment, because I can't see, especially those of you who put a comment earlier, I can't acknowledge you because Facebook runs it so rapidly that I can see Fred Kwao, who is watching, have Konkos Gabi, who is also watching, Sir Vasco, Brighter Sarbe, Zach Boaten. Guys, I want to thank you, all of you, for joining us tonight. Obviously, tomorrow evening from 9 p.m., MC Chaka is going to be here, and we are going to have the opportunity to explain most of these things that I'm explaining here in the Tree language, so that all of us can benefit. Right, so as I have been taking my time to be explaining the background to the shortage occupation list, why some salaries have been reduced, why some sectors have run out of staff, and therefore they managed to put in some codes to enable those people to fill those gaps, so that this economy will not be at halt, but rather can continue to move. And obviously, we all know, even today, I received some link from one of my clients concerning how government is seeking to provide grants so that healthcare providers can have some form of support in the form of grants to be able to recruit. And therefore, this obviously indicates that there is still the need for these people to continue to play this role that they have been playing. And a lot of people are still stuck in the hospital. They cannot be discharged home because obviously there are not people there to provide that support. Because remember that these frontline care workers are only there to provide support to the infirm and the vulnerable adults, those who need certain support in terms of dressing, feeding, assisting them to pay their bills, assisting them to take them to shopping, and various kinds of things that one would do in their home. But if they are in their care home, for example, they also need to be provided for in the same manner. And therefore, this has become so essential. But for the past weeks, I've been bombarded with questions that this healthcare worker visa has come to an end on the 15th of February. And I'm not here to castigate anybody for saying that, because obviously when the government introduced this policy on the 15th of February, the announcement was that it will be introduced for 1 year and be monitored. That is the choice of words that, if I'm correct, was used. And therefore, that monitoring is still ongoing. And before I came to this studio, I checked the shortage occupation rate to find out if it had been removed. And I can confidently say that it has not been removed. And of course, my sources have not indicated that there have been any announcement anywhere that suggests that this is going to be removed tomorrow. And therefore, for those of you who have been panicking, and in fact, I must also say that sometimes the interpretation, I remember there was a time somebody was doing a program, with due respect to everyone, how they were saying that the frontline care workers were going to get 1 year visa. When in fact, what it simply meant is that it was going to be introduced for 1 year. And of course, everybody have their own interpretation of the law, and sometimes it's even in English. But of course, some people, with jokes aside, have even 5 years. They could be granted 5 years. I know some people have 2 years, some have a year, and obviously those who have been on any skilled worker visa, which is the healthcare worker being part of it, because it was part of the shortage occupation list, they are eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain after 5 years, provided they meet all the conditions of their visa on the basis of which they were granted that visa. So obviously, there is no indication that this route is going to be abolished. And of course, there have not been any announcement, because obviously if there's going to be this scheme is going to be abolished, then there would have been an announcement in the course of time to enable people to prepare. But because people have misunderstood simple language, misconstrued the interpretation of the law, I've had people who have even disposing of their COS because they are thinking that by the 15th, which is tomorrow, this whole scheme is coming to an end. And I'm here to announce to you that that is not true. And that is why I've taken my time to explain the basis of the skilled worker program, why it was introduced. Because remember that after Brexit, when most of the European nationals departed from the UK and went to their countries, and this was exacerbated by the fact that we had COVID and people were working from home. Most people decided that instead of staying in the UK and pay huge rent, they would rather go to their countries where perhaps rent was cheaper. And in the course of time, they became used to their home countries and they decided not to come back again, coupled with a hostile environment. And therefore there was a clear gap, shortage in a lot of sectors. And of course, the Secretary of State in his own wisdom, they introduced this shortage occupation area to fill these gaps, of which health and care, social care workers visa was one of them, and which was to be in place for at least the senior care workers. They obviously have a different category, and of course people tend to misunderstand even the codes. And I am not here to make mockery of what. I'm here to announce that there is no indication that this scheme is going to come to an end soon. And I've always maintained that those of you who have other categories of visas, you are still eligible to be switching. And of course, it's a 5-year route, it's a cheaper route for you to get your indefinite leave to remain. So tonight I'm here taking my time to explain the basis of why this scheme has not been abolished, has not come to an end. And I've also taken my time to explain most of the requirements that need to be satisfied therein. At this point, I'm going to open the phone lines. If there is anybody that had questions, this is your opportunity to ask. And obviously the phone lines are now on the screen, on the scrolling board. I'm going to be here for a couple of minutes and then be able to answer your legal questions. But while doing that, I want to continue to acknowledge Michael Asaba, who has just joined us. I have Amotandos Kwasi, who have joined us. I have Michael Azamachi, who has also joined. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have St. Paul Kwesi, who is also with us tonight. I have Charles Oduro. This is very explanatory because there are a lot of hearsay. I know. That's why I'm here tonight. I have Vera Apokoze, who is also watching. He said, I'm watching. I have Richie Duzoraz, who is watching. I have Sam Aqua. It's quite a good topic. I have Freddie Kwao, whom I have already acknowledged. So guys, if this is the first time you've joined us, we do this show every Tuesday in English, every Tuesday. And we do immigration, we do housing law, employment law, civil litigation. We do family law, in fact, personal injury, most areas of the law. This is an opportunity for you to get update of the law. And because we do it in English, if you're of every nationality, you can still benefit from it. And then on Wednesdays, we do it in Chi, at least for those people, my Ashanti brothers and sisters who enjoy the Chi language, because as I'm thinking, I want them to maintain that Chi language. So we do that in respect for them so that they can also continue to enjoy this show. So MC Chaka is always here, and I've learned so much. So he's always here on Wednesday to take his time to go through the tree with everyone. So if you are joining for the first time, please note that every Tuesday from 9 p.m. We do this show, and then every Wednesday we also do it in Twi language. At this point, I want to take a few minutes of your time to advertise our sponsor of this program. It's obviously proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. CITI Law Solicitors, if you are looking for us, you can locate us in Barking. Our office is at Unit 113 and 122 Barking Enterprise Center, 50 Cambridge Road, Barking IG 11 8FG. If you want to contact, I'm sure that most times I hear a lot of complaints that I don't answer calls. Please, I'm sincerely sorry to those of you whom I have not been able to answer your calls on time, but I urge you to take the office telephone number, because my learned colleagues who are in the office, they are willing and capable of assisting in all the areas of the law that I'm going to mention. So if you want to take our telephone number, it's 02033 55 8. Oh my God. 020 55 33 872. So if you want to call the office number, I think it's on the scrolling board as well. You can take note of that. If you want to call the office number, obviously somebody who will be there. Even if I can't talk to you, I'm sure they will take note, and then I can later get back to you. So 030 33 55 0782. That's the office number. If you want to visit us, in fact, the bus 5 just drives through the office. We have those of you coming from Southend Sea, Basildon, South End, you can jump on the C2C and then just get to Barking. Those of you coming from Tottenham, North London, we have a train. Do you know we have a train from Gospel Oak, which comes from South Tottenham to Barking, and it takes just less than 25 minutes. And it doesn't go through Zone 2, so it's very, very cheap. So if you want to come from North London, you don't have to jump on the bus. You can simply take that train, and it's much shorter for you. If you're coming from everywhere, obviously we have the Central Line and the District Line all going through Sorry, the Solicitors line, Hammersmith City line coming from the city. Now, these are the areas of our specialization. This is a one-stop shop law center. We specialize in immigration, which is one of the things that I've been doing tonight. If you have a business and you need a sponsorship license, don't go far. This is where we can assist you to get a sponsorship license, to be able to recruit the staff that you need badly to be able to work for you. If you want to naturalize as a British, we are here to assist you in making those applications. We say doing late application for under the EU settlement scheme. So if you haven't done your application, we say can assist you. Those of you who want to come in as students, those of you who want to come as spouses, and above all, those of you who even want to make application as skilled worker, migrants, we are also here to assist in those applications. So every area, asylum seekers, next week probably I will be talking about asylum. So if you want any, in fact we cover every aspect of both immigration and nationality law. So an EU law which is in place even though we have left the European Union. There is still ongoing late applications indefinitely. Employment law, if you have been dismissed from work unfairly or there have been discrimination, bullying and harassment, those are the areas that I enjoy most. We'll be here to assist you. If you're an employer and you want to understand the law, such that you don't get sued when you dismiss some recalcitrant staff, we are here to assist. We are here to support small businesses to put in place policies that can assist them to run their business smoothly. So under our employment law, we are here to assist all of you. Family law, MC Chaka says, I like to talk about divorce because in fact the embodiment of the whole family law is about when the dispute, when people are not being allowed to see their children, we can assist you to put in place child arrangement order. If you are going through divorce, then you also need a lawyer to assist you to protect your interests. We are also here. If you want to put in place some cohabitation agreement, all these are stuff that helps to, it's like a cohesive force, helps to put families together. We'll be here to assist you. Personal injury and critical negligence, if you ever had an accident, either at the workplace, motor accident in car as a passenger, driver, that was not your fault, we'll be here to claim some compensation for you. So, this is another area of our specialization, and we do most of these cases, both employment and personal injury. We do no win, no fee. So if it's only when we win, we just get a token, a percentage of all this money that will be paid out to you. So it's not a matter of affordability. You don't have any excuse to take on that matter if you have suffered accident at the workplace and it's not your fault. If you're in the car as a passenger, if you're a driver and you've suffered accident on the road, motor accident, we are here to deal with all these cases under our personal injury and clinical negligence. If you went to the NHS for treatment and you had some form of disability, sometimes you go for eye operation and then they end up making you blind. And of course, these are the areas that will come in to challenge and ensure that you can get some compensation. Money might not be enough, but money will make your life comfortable and easier. You know it, especially when it's Valentine's Day tonight. So these are some areas that we can assist you to get money into your pocket. Commercial disputes and civil litigations. Obviously, if somebody is owing you and he doesn't want to pay, sometimes I see businesses entering into agreements, commercial agreements, not seeking legal advice. And eventually, they start writing to them. They start losing money, 50, 30, 100,000, and then they start looking for a lawyer. No. You need to look for a lawyer before you enter into the agreement. Let capable lawyer versed in commercial matters, civil litigation, advise you on those terms. That is, seek advice. Don't wait until when there is a problem before you look for a lawyer. Because you end up spending so much for nothing. So that's why we are here to provide all these services. I always say that CITI Law Services is one stop. all your legal needs can be met. We also specialize in housing law and consumer law. If the insurance doesn't want to pay out to you, we'll be here to support you. We have media and entertainment law. Do you know that we have clients all the way from America instructing us to be dealing with their matters? So if you have any case in media and entertainment, we are here to also assist you. Now, if any of you have missed any part of this program, I want to remind you that, or if you find this program very exciting and insightful, this whole thing stays on my platform, on the CITI Media TV platform, CITI Law Solicitors platform, the YouTube channel. It stays there permanently, so you can always go back, you can watch it again and again and again. So guys, it's been so nice to meet you again. I want to remind you that we are going to be here again tomorrow, and obviously I want to urge you to join us tomorrow from 9 p.m. when MC Chaka will be here to host the show with a cheap program. God bless you and enjoy your Valentine evening. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. I have Priscilla White. I don't want to leave you out. Priscilla White, thank you so much for joining us. So God bless all of you and see you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.